Oh, hello there. Welcome to Technology Forecasting for Strategic Decision Making. This is yet another module. This module is going to be on technology evolution cycle. Okay. Now, if you're wondering what is a professor doing with toys in front of him, we'll get the answer soon. I watched a few days ago. I watched my son play with this, and I thought he outgrew this, and then an idea occurred to me. I said, wow, look at this. It's just a set of wheels and some repeating blocks. You give it to a child, show it to a child, and they immediately in a flash they will identify this as a train. Right? We take these things for granted. You just hop on a train, get off, but wherever you have to get off, not really focus on what this is all about, what is this train, what is the history, nothing like that. So we just take it for granted. And then I said, I started thinking about this, and I said, an idea occurred to me. Technology evolution cycle is something that I'm going to cover in this module. What do I do? So then I asked my son, may I use your toys for this recording this course? And he said, yeah, Papa, go ahead, no problem. Thank you so much. I said, thanks, this is great. Let me see what I can do. So if you look at it, the most prominent feature in all these toys are the wheels, right? Again, another thing we take for granted are these wheels. So if you took trains for granted, wheels are definitely not in that picture, right? So wheels are something that we take for granted. So I'm going to look at transportation itself as something that has evolved over eons, right? So I'm going to start with the wheel. Nobody even knows when the wheel was invented, who invented it, where was it invented. Very sketchy India. People say this place, this person, that person, and they really don't have a clue. We're just making guesses here. But must have made a significant impact on transportation itself when the wheel was invented. And the idea probably spread across, and people had wheels for everything. So they must have started off with building something like this, like a cart. This is made of Lego bricks. This is a cart with some wheels. Okay, they must have domesticated animals, so they would have hitched it on the front, and it would have gone and they would have carried the luggage and whatever stuff, and themselves, probably their relatives, some other little animals. They would have transported it all across, so they could take goods from one place to another without effort from the human being, right? The animals were doing the work. So this is probably where they started. This is the evolution of transportation on the surface. Now there was another medium also where transportation was evolving, that is water. Correct, you guessed it right, water. So they must have started with what? A log of wood and rowing with pieces of wood. Okay, that's probably what they tried out first. So they can go across, take little things across lakes, oceans, rivers. So they probably did that. Then they must have carved a little canoe, a kayak, a boat, and probably a ship. So let's assume for a moment that this Lego piece is a ship, because it has an exhaust and everything. So that was probably what they built. Ships to transport people, warships even, and royalty traveled on ships if they want to go a long distance. Then they attached sails to it so that wind could be used to propel a ship. So all sorts of evolution and amazing things happened. Even now ships are used to transport heavy stuff across continents. Even people, luxury cruise ships are famous for carrying lots and lots of people at one go. It's like a floating city almost. It's used in military applications where you have aircraft carriers and all that. So that's something that's went on in the shipping industry, or so that's forked out. So this is the land-based sort of transport, and here we have let me keep it here, water-based transport. So in land-based itself, so we didn't stop here, right? Humanity didn't stop here. We actually moved to mechanizing transport. So in mechanizing it, one of the first few things that we saw was the invention of something like this. This is a train, of course, with the first example that I started off with. The invention of the steam engine. The steam engine, solid fuel was used in the form of coal and powered the vehicle on tracks. They built tracks, and on top of that, so I live not so far from a historic place when it comes to railways. I live in Pune, and Mumbai is not so far off from here. Bombay to Thane was the first train journey carried out in India in 1853. 3 coaches carried people all across. So this was used for carrying people and goods, and it was carried on tracks. And this evolved, if I move this aside, this also evolved when solid fuel moved to liquid fuel. So this was the diesel engine, diesel locomotive, which was the next step of evolution in this form of transport. So and we started using liquid fuel. Of course, liquid fuel had to be converted into electric power, and that moved the vehicle forward. Right? So now we have totally electric locomotives which pull the train on railway tracks. So this was on railway tracks. Mechanized transport also happened on the surface, and that was, let's assume for a moment that this is a car with an internal combustion engine. So similar to what we have in a locomotive, but much smaller. It converted the liquid fuel. The power was converted into mechanical energy. So mechanical energy, this could move all across. So surface transport was in the form of cars, and that was the mechanized transport. Mechanized transport, again, this evolved further, and it resembles something that we have in modern cars. This is a sport utility vehicle manufactured by Mahindra in India, and this is a model called XUV 500, one of the sport utility vehicles. So this is the evolution of surface-based transport, mechanized surface-based transport. Now we're done with waterways, rail-based vehicles. We also looked at surface-based vehicles. There's one more medium on the planet, which is air-based. So yeah, Wright brothers made their first mechanized power flight in 1905. And this is a cute representation of an airplane, propeller-based airplane, and that was the first mechanized plane, right? So that was the first generation of airplanes, and they flew it. After that, it evolved with the evolution of or the invention of jet engines, and that brought in the next set of evolution in the aircraft industry itself, which is the jet-powered airplanes. So this is a fighter plane with twin engines. You can see 2 engines here, and that's how it evolved. And also in commercial air, people also started traveling. You could travel around the world in less than a day. It's that fast. So it was very fast, very efficient, and could haul a lot of people at the same time across continents. When earlier we were talking between cities, these guys could do between cities. Then we moved to across countries, and now we're talking transcontinental. So things evolved further. Now all these modes of transport are still on planet Earth. What if we move to another planet? So you will, one more form of transport, which is if you needed to, so jet engines could go fast, but if you needed to stop and help somebody here in a search and rescue operation, you had a helicopter. Okay, there you go. I can rotate this. This is fun. Okay, so the helicopter actually, you can even have a tail rotor. So it could actually help you with search and rescue. It could hover at one place and help you that way, or you could do short distance transportation of people or goods, or you can also use it for military operations where the fighter planes cannot go. These guys can go into forests and do the tactical operations there. So that's, oh wow, I have a crowded place here. Okay, somehow I found place. Okay, now this is all on our planet. What about when we start colonizing other planets? So this is my representation of a buggy, a lunar buggy, or even a Martian buggy, right? So these are vehicles, rovers, which can move on other planets, and but we need fuel, right? So I was talking about solid fuel, liquid fuel. We can't take those fuel all across. So, but we can take something like what is here. There's a solar panel. So you can take these solar panels to another planet and run this vehicles. So that way, these vehicles are handy. You can use them, and of course, you need to get to those planets. And this is our representation of a fancy looking station, which can be used for even living. You could live inside this with attached modules like the International Space Station. You can live there. You can even probably hook it up to a train, go up there, drop the train will do the surface transport. This guy can take you to other planets. So this in short is my, I have used all resources from my home. My son was kind enough to give me this, loaned me this. I should return it back to him. So you can see that you can have an evolution of a technology based on stuff that is lying around at your home. So I would encourage you to find some piece of technology in your home, in musical instrument, electronics, I don't know, just find something that's lying around and dig into the history of that piece of technology and see how it evolved, how did it gradually evolve into the shape that you find it today. And then be brave, try to make some predictions into the future, what it could look like, and post it on our discussion forum, our course discussion forum. We'll be happy to look at what all examples you can come up with. So use objects that are lying around and build your evolution cycle. So this is probably your exercise that you can do to exercise not only your creativity but also find out about history of the evolution cycle itself. You can do it yourself. Okay. So we'll be waiting for what you have to say. We're very eager to do that. Okay. So thank you very much for listening. See you in the next module then. Okay. Bye for now.